Aston Villa are making real moves in this transfer market. Very quickly, they went and appointed Monchi as their new sporting football director, chief scout, whatever we're going to call it. And, you know, if you've been paying attention to the wider European football landscape over the last couple of years, Monchi has been a very key figure in a lot of key transfers, good and bad, for a number of teams that you'll be familiar with across the continent. And he has paired very well in the past with Unai Emery. And when they were both going to join up at Villa, my first thoughts were going to be, we are going to get to see these guys really sculpt the team of their dreams. Being at Aston Villa, having the Premier League riches and the lure at their disposal, there's really no excuses for the sort of stones that these guys will unturned for good transfers, as well as, you know, their own credentials, how good they think they are, how effective are Emery and Monchi at creating a team and being competitive and taking on the biggest league in the world against all the odds. Newcastle with the Saudi money, the big six, the big four, whatever we're going to think of them as traditionally over the last 10 years. But it's not Monchi we're here to talk about today. I was trying to hold my water. We may have a good follow-up video to this in the pipeline with a guest later on, but I could not hold my water anymore. Today, it has been confirmed, it has been here we go by Fabrizio Romano. Pau Torres has signed for Aston Villa. Now, this may not be that much of a headline transfer to many of you out there, but let me tell you, this has got huge significance. Now, from what I've seen of Aston Villa last year, I was very impressed with how they transition and how they see their route to goal and how they try and attack, and I'm really impressed with the makeup of their midfield. But what Pau Torres signals is the beginning of the transformation in their defence. The left-sided centre-back is a problem position for Premier League teams and teams all across the world. Pau Torres, Spain international, has been long linked to a host of European elite. So him coming in here along with Monchi into this Unai Emery team, I think is going to be fantastic. Now, there is some question marks been thrown up by some formidable football minds out there about his credibilities and his physicality in the league. I've got deja vu of kind of Emerick Laporte kind of situation. I would say Laporte was a bit more formidable in the air perhaps than Pau Torres when he was in Spain, but admittedly I wasn't watching a lot of Bilbao back then. But Pau Torres, make no mistake about it, is very good. Now, Pau Torres has done much better in Villarreal and at Spain. He's had a settled defensive partnership. Now, Villarreal have had a wee bit of problems there recently, so it's not been that settled. And in defence, outside of this, there's not much to be admired at Aston Villa. Diego Carlos, who was signed from Sevilla, is a kind of player I could see pairing up with Torres pretty well, but he's been injured quite a fair bit and hasn't featured too much at Aston Villa. And I know Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa isn't everyone's cup of tea, and I can definitely see there being room for improvement in this additional centre-back position here. Along with Emi Martinez, World Cup goalkeeper, you know, World Cup winning goalkeeper, there's a base here of a really good triangle. Callum Chambers, I thought was very impressive when I was at Villa Park this season. He was more of in a midfield area, and I think he gets sent off or he came off injured or something. But he actually impressed me when I seen him in person, but I don't think he's the guy to fill into this spot here. The fullback positions last year, there's good profiles there for what I've seen Unai Emery have in the fullback positions before, with guys like Cash, Moreno, Lucas Digne, and Ashley Young. There's a good blend there of kind of experience. It could use a wee bit of freshening up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them make any transfers there. But like I mentioned at the tip of the video, the midfield of Aston Villa is really where the strength and the engine comes from. Now, the midfield with Emery and, you know, these Monchi teams, it always kind of varies depending on the individual personnel. Douglas Luiz is very much a mainstay in the squad, as is John McGinn. Douglas Luiz being that kind of anchor point, really combative defensive midfielder, is a great platform to build this midfield on. Boubacar Kamara and Jacob Ramsey have done great under Emery from when I've seen them at Aston Villa. I'm a huge fan of Ramsey, and I think he is a best 11 player for Aston Villa. Kamara unfortunately has had some injuries, and that's why the transfer in of someone like Youri Tielemans has helped give them some real depth for those situations where maybe one or two of these guys do get injured, do get fatigued, because Aston Villa will have European football next year. There's still Emi Buendia in this team, and I don't know the situation with Den Donker, but if he's still around, he's got a wee bit of utility as a kind of squad player in this kind of situation as well. And how good is this? The guys at QuinnBet have enhanced their UK welcome offer, where you can now get a free bet up to £35. It's for new customers that sign up only. You can check out the full terms and conditions on their website, quinnbet.com. The link is in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. By clicking on that link and signing up directly, you do support all the content here at the channel, and I thank you in advance if you do so. It looks really impressive to me. But remember, folks, it is 18 plus and always gamble responsibly. But with Leon Bailey and one or two others, there is still a couple of spots in this Aston Villa team that could really use reinforced. Let's say John McGinn has always been given this kind of wild position in the front three to go forward and press, cause havoc and get into the box and make things happen. And I think Watkins, honestly, is a top shelf striker. I could see this season in the league him breaking 20 goals, no problem at all, if he stays fit. And any charge Aston Villa have into the Europa League or into the Conference League, whatever it is, like Ollie Watkins could be a Golden Boot winner. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of him, and I believe Emery is as well, and I believe a lot of the team, the route to goal option is going to be Watkins, is going to be making the most out of him. And, you know, I'm getting deja vu. I'm getting shades of like Wissam Ben Yedder at Sevilla when I'm thinking about this Watkins situation. It will be really interesting to see the other transfers that come in. But one thing that I'm seeing around this Pau Torres transfer being done is that Aston Villa could be set to raid Villarreal properly and scoop in Alex Baena and Yeremy Pino. Now, Baena's more of a kind of ball progressor, creative midfielder type. So maybe if Tielemans is maybe a wee bit more of that defensive midfield cover in case Boubacar Kamara or whatever needs rested and rotated, Baena could be a very good playmaker. He's doing pretty well for Spain in under 21 Euros that's on at the moment. You can watch that on UEFA TV for free anywhere in the world. And Yeremy Pino is a really exciting, really direct left attacking winger as well that Emery has worked with, as well as Baena and Pau Torres at Villarreal. And if he was to scoop this whole spine in here, that for me really quickly levels up a lot of Aston Villa, because you're taking a top 4, top 5 La Liga established team here, young prospect spine, and putting it right into this elite atmosphere around an elite midfield and a good goalkeeper. The one transfer rumour I would love to see come off for Aston Villa right now is Federico Chiesa. After completing this Pau Torres transfer, that feels like a real coup for me and could tip somebody like Chiesa into making a decision to go to Birmingham. And, honestly, Chiesa and an Aston Villa team like this under Unai Emery could be super exciting to watch. There is some strong links as well to Michael Olise, and I think in this right wing position, he would work very well in this Aston Villa team because of the style of play and the interplay that is seen, particularly between these key 4 players. Normally, Olise would be a very good delivery mechanism to get guys third man runs into the box, as well as a very good set piece taker to work and organise around as well. So I think he could be a very exciting option if Chiesa was a bit too expensive or did go to Newcastle or something like that. And another name that's been hotly linked to Aston Villa in this Monchi era is Mohamed Kudus. Now, Mohamed Kudus has made a lot of admirers since his time at Ajax over the last season or two. He fancies himself to be as good as Neymar. He's a Ghanaian international, if memory serves me right. He's going to cost a lot of money, and if he does come and he is as good as he thinks he is, and he's as good as a lot of people think he is, then on this right wing, on this left wing, he's quite versatile in that respect. He could be dangerous, and this team is really built on hard work and tactical nous as well as elite technical ability. And when you put that mixture in there with somebody like Unai Emery, who, in my mind, Unai Emery, I'm a big fan of him overall, but in my mind, he's almost like a little pantomime villain. He's almost like, ha ha ha, I'm going to beat yous anyway, even though I've got not as big a budget and I'm not as big a glamorous team or whatever, like all the way through his career, So, I'm really excited to see how Aston Villa plays out. Really excited to see how these final pieces move across the board and see how the team fleshes out for the new season. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are Aston Villa, are they top 6? I know they finished 7th last year. Is this a top 6, top 4 team we're now looking at under this new guidance, under this more unilateral approach that the club is taking with, the first team acquisitions that they're making? Can they go far in Europe? Can they repeat what West Ham done this year in that respect? Be really, really interested to hear your comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and retweet and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.